Tonight we're going to talk about dating and what it's like to date. Of course, after 40, um, after a divorce, after divorce, having kids, and what it's like to get back out there. Most of us, I haven't been married yet, looking forward to it, but the reality is to do it, for us to do it and to add the component of being online, dating online, getting on these apps and putting ourselves out there, it's still kind of foreign to a lot of people, and people are uncomfortable because you're used to either meeting someone through another friend or being out, but things are different, right? And so we have to kind of go with the change and be intentional about how we're dating and what we want to do in the space. So tonight we're going to get into it, and we're going to get into it with a man by the name of Jermain Goins, who just so happens to be my brother. And he's going to talk about his journey of after divorce and when he was ready and finding his person online and dating online and what the intentions were, and then moving on, finding his person and getting married again. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it tonight. So everyone, please welcome Jermain to the podcast.
Can you hear me?
Off. I can't believe it's you. That's why I got choked.
Yeah. It's all good. Glad to be here.
What's up?
What's up?
How's it going?
It's going good. It's been a great year. 2023 has been a great year. Looking forward to 2024 in the holiday season.
Me too.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
We have a lot going on. Let's see what's going on in these comments, because people are out in here. They like, hey, Jermain. Hey, how you doing? What's up, y'all? How you do? Hey, everyone. Hi, Jermain. You got a lot of shout outs out here
already. I appreciate the love.
Already. Lord. Thanks. Hey, Vilma. Yes. Sup. All right. We're going to get started. So, normally how I start the show, new people, you're a newbie to the podcast. So I'm going to start with a speed round of questions just to get warmed up a little bit, right?
Hey, let's do it. Let's go. Come on.
Get warmed up a little bit. Okay, so first question is, what is one food item you hide from your spouse or kids during the holidays?
That would be candy, because I know I shouldn't be eating it, but I eat it anyway. But then they know where it's at, so they kind of go into it too, on the sneak.
Okay.
I still hide it, but it's a stash. It's a little candy
spoon. Candy.
I love chocolate, so like anything chocolate,
Lord.
Anything.
Okay. Let's see. One subject you would like to learn more about.
I would always like to learn more about real estate. I love real estate. I can never get enough of it.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, somebody put something in the comments. I saw something. Did you see that?
All kinds of things in the
comments. I saw something.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, there it is.
Your wife says, my handsome husband. Oh, my, so sorry. Okay, I mentioned it out loud. All right. Pick one. Christmas cookies, eggnog, or barbecue ribs.
Ooh. See, the ribs don't go with the Christmas thing.
They kind of do.
Does it really? You can't go wrong with ribs, especially if they're on the grill. You can't go wrong with ribs.
Okay, so you're gonna pick.
Yeah.
I just knew you were gonna pick eggnog.
If I pick eggnog, it's got to be United Dairy Farmer. They got the best eggnog ever. Okay. UDF.
Say that
you probably don't know nothing about that. You from New York, so.
I'm not from New York.
Well, you live in New York. Same thing.
Okay, all right.
You've been there forever. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, here we go already. All right. What movie do you enjoy quoting the most?
not really a movie person anymore, though. I'm really not. Um, yeah, I like Sons of Anarchy.
You like
That's
what?
Sons of Anarchy. You never heard of that?
No. But what do you quote from it? Is there any quote that you use all the time or often or not?
I use quotes because I still try to stay young at heart. My wife hates it, but I'll use quotes like I just told you before we joined. Stand on my business. Stand on business. That's it. I mean,
Okay.
everybody's saying it now, so I try to stay up on it a little bit. But yeah,
And where did you get that from? Let's share with everyone who says.
well, T.I.'s son said it. He was clapping back at his dad, T.I., and he
Oh,
said he stood on business, which he don't have no business standing on. But it's all good.
okay. All right. What is your least favorite holiday dish?
Mm, holiday dish? Well, I don't like chitlins at all. And it's not a dish, it's a dessert. Fruitcake. I ain't nobody's fruitcake. Nobody's.
I think many people eat.
Yeah, I ain't doing it.
Although I don't see it as much as I used to.
It's in the stores.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, it is in the stores. Okay. All right. So yeah, I don't know about that. But okay, that's fine. Like, all right. All right, let's see here. Last question. Who is your hero or shero?
Who was my hero when? Just in general?
Yeah, who is your he could be a man or a woman. Who is your hero or shero in general?
So I mean, our mom, like she is spectacular. I said was because like growing up, I remember how hard she worked for us,
Mm.
2 and 3 jobs all year round. She would start working preparing for Christmas in August. She would get a part-time job. I remember her working as a security guard. I remember stuff like that, just so we could open up 3-4 minutes worth of presents. Sometimes it wasn't even a lot, but she worked her tail off. And so just seeing how she would go to bat for us and stuff like that. I wasn't a good teenage kid. I gave her a hard time. She still went to bat for me though. So yeah,
Amen.
I
Amen.
know I gave her fits.
Well, we won't
Woo!
talk about that.
Yeah,
We
that's
won't.
another
That's a
podcast.
whole nother. That's another episode.
That's another episode.
That's another episode.
Yes.
But that was easy, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
That was easy. That was easy.
Yeah.
So now we're about to get into your business.
Okay.
In your business. So um you know most most of the audience are over 40,
Mhm.
and there are some of us who who are out here, who are dating, be it if first time, or you have been married before and you have children, or they're just things. So and so being, for you being divorced, being a father, and then single again, what was your motivation to try online dating at that point, at that stage, especially, it was kind of taboo, or it still is for some.
So to answer that question, I got to kind of get to the backstory of it. Um, I got divorced when I was 39. So, you know, that was tough in itself. Um, and to go at 39, I went and moved in with our mother. So here I am, 39 years old, moving in with my mom. So I'm as far as I'm concerned, I'm taking a step backwards in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
Moving in with my mom. At that time, uh, I pretty much lost everything. So I didn't have a car. So moving to my mother at 39, no car. Obviously, I still had a job, but that in itself felt like, oh man, it just took a lot of steam out of me. So I had to really, after being married, my first marriage, 14 years,
Hmm.
I felt like I needed to take a year before dating and not date anybody and just really like do some soul searching within.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just wanted to purge myself of anything of the past and just really find out, okay, what does Jermain want in a relationship? What do I like? What do I not like in a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to do that is really, I just said, okay, this year, that year I took off, I'm going to really spend some quality time by myself. So I went to the movies by myself. I didn't like that. I didn't like it at all. But I knew it was necessary. So I would like go to the movies like before, after work, and I would sit like in the front of the movie theater because I didn't want to get distracted and see, because I knew I was going to see couples in there linked up, and I didn't want to get distracted. So it'd be like 9 people in the movie theater, and it'd be 4 couples and me by myself, and I knew it. So I was like, I'm gonna sit in the front, so I don't have to look at that. So soon as the movie ended, soon as I started seeing the credits roll, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out because I wanted to stay focused. I knew what I needed to do, and I knew the task at hand. So I would go on lunch, eat lunch by myself, eat dinner by myself. The whole thing it may sound corny, but I was like, I need to not fall in love with myself, but I need to find out, I need to really gain some strength back, find out who I am. And so I remember doing those things.
Okay.
Um, I didn't go a year to the day, mark it on my calendar or anything like that, but I remember a year had passed. Um, and I remember um, sitting down with my kids and letting them know, hey, I'm going to start dating again. Okay, let me back up a little bit, because I had to also, during that 1 year time that I was really spending time myself, I had to get out of the mentality, because I really at one time considered myself undateable.
Okay.
And the reason why I've considered myself undateable was because here I was, at that time I was 40 and I had got a car. So by the time I was living with my mom at 39, I had got a car in that time. So I was slowly getting on my feet, but I was
Mm-hmm.
still staying with our mother. And so I was like, well, um, here I am, 40 years old. I got 10 kids. And I felt like if I was to um, go on a date, you tell somebody, hey, they say, tell me a little bit about yourself. And I say, well, um, I'm 40. Well, do you have your own place? No, I stay with my mom. And I thought they'd be like, well, man, that's a red flag. And I say, well, I got 10 kids. And when I tell people I got 10 kids, I don't like saying it, but I see the looks. First thing people think is, oh, well, you were irresponsible. Or, no, I have 3 biological kids and I have 7 adopted, where from my first marriage, we were foster parents
Mm-hmm.
for 14 years, 13 years,
Yeah.
and we adopted 7 kids. I don't like saying that because I don't look at them any different than
Right.
my biological.
Right.
But I want to disclose that because I already know what people are going to be thinking, which I shouldn't care, but
But you
I
see
want
the
to
look,
disclose that.
you see the look or feeling like judgment type.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I had that. And then also I thought like maybe kind of undateable was I'm a licensed minister. I've been a licensed minister over 30 years, 30. And so I wouldn't say that would make me undateable, but I think the fact that I don't like telling people I'm a minister because I want them to see it. I don't think I should have to say it. I want them to see something different in me that's different from somebody out here, I don't know, in the world. So hopefully they can see without me saying, hey, I'm a minister. No, I've never been that type of person. But by me disclosing that on a date, when you say you're a minister, people tend to um, judge you. They tend to think they have to act a certain way, and I want people to respect me, but I don't want people to feel like they got to clam up and they can't be themselves around me either.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so um, that was how I felt about those three things. But nevertheless, I pursued and wanted to start the online dating because online dating for me, it's almost like I feel like when we're trying to date and put ourselves out there, we're our own LLC. So nobody's going to know that you exist if you don't put yourself out there. And the best way to really put yourself out there to the masses is by online dating. To me, to me,
Okay.
um, you reach more people faster. And so that was my perception on it. And just for example, you look at McDonald's. McDonald's, when they brand and when they market, they go and you see billboards, radio ads, commercials, coupons in the mail. There's different ways that they market their product. And so that's the way I looked at it. Like, okay, I'm going to start online profiles uh, through dating, but I went and I was on so many dating websites. That was my goal. I was on at least 8 to 10.
How did you
Oh,
keep up with how do you keep up with that? Did you have to do a different profile for each one, or it was kind of like this is my profile for all of these sites, and you had a schedule? Because that seems overwhelming to me.
no, it wasn't overwhelming. I pretty much said the same thing as far as a profile on all of them,
Yeah.
but I would get email notifications if somebody responded or something like that. But my main thing was I'm gonna. That's when you're dating and you're creating a profile. That's one of the few times you can brag about yourself outside of like a job interview.
Okay.
But there's a fine line. You don't want it to be all me, me, me. But but that's one of the few times. So like I said, now I wasn't on no friend with benefit stuff and I think Tinder is one of those. I wasn't on nothing like that. I was on like Plenty of Fish, Black People Meet, Christian Mingle. Christian Mingle was trash, but I was on Christian Mingle. Um, but my main thing was I wanted as many people to know Jermain exists. That way, the more people know I exist, the closer I could be to finding my soulmate.
Interesting. How did you, we kind of went through a lot of things, like kind of how you prepared yourself. And from your past journey, what were some things, what were your, I guess I was like maybe qualifications, what were you looking for? Did you make a list of those things of like, okay, these are the qualities that I want in, my person, or, my next wife? And was that the intention? Like you went into like, I am intentionally, excuse me, um, you know, moving forward in a space of, um, for my wife, versus some people are like, all right, I'm looking for a companion.
Yeah.
And if it leads to marriage, okay, great. But was there a difference in your strategy? Was it intentional?
I was I knew I wanted to get married. I knew that was the end goal. Let me put it like that. So
Okay.
when I say that, that's not something you say on the first date. Well, if the question comes up, yes. But that can scare off a lot of people. You talk about marriage on the first date. So, but I knew that was the end goal. I knew that I didn't want to have a girlfriend long because to me, here again, this is me. The title girlfriend sounds so high school. Not in high school. I was in my 40s. I'm not in high school. I don't want no girlfriend. For a woman to be in my life and she be only my girlfriend for a long period of time, that's disrespecting her. Because that person that I'm with, my future wife, she deserves a title better than just girlfriend.
Okay.
So that would be disrespectful for me to leave her with that title alone for a long period of time. So in my mind, I'm going into it, I just want to have a girlfriend maybe a year, 2 years. Hopefully she feels the same way. Now, if she felt like, I don't want to get married no more, once we start dating or something, I don't want to get married at all, then that's not something I'm into. That would be a deal breaker for me because I want to be married. Even fiance is nice. That's an unofficial title,
Yeah.
but that ain't wife. My end goal, she deserves to have that title. So that was my goal. Now, as far as anything else, I got a certain body type. Uh, I like my women thick. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I like them thick. So but then I was going into it open-minded because I wanted God to have his way. There's a difference between us having what we want and what we need. So I wanted to go into, and I went into it open-minded because I wanted God to give me what I needed, not what I wanted.
Okay.
So I was real open-minded towards that. So
Okay.
yeah.
Were there some questions, or there's some key questions you thought were important to ask on the first date?
The first date, matter of fact, to me, the first 3 dates really it's just an interview. You filling each other out. You on your best behavior. You on your best behavior. So it's just you want to find out as much about that person as you can. Um, financial questions. Are they good at managing money? Um, when was the last time they was in a relationship? What are they looking for short term, long term in a relationship? What are they looking for? What kind of person do they want? You want to ask as many questions. And when we're talking about dating in our 40s,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a little different than
Yeah.
dating in your 20s.
Yeah. It is.
Dating in your 40s now, you want to ask some medical questions, maybe, because our bodies are changing in our 40s. They're not the same. We're
Yeah.
not moving this way. We shouldn't. We're not moving the same way. So we need to ask those probing questions, medical wise. You good? Your your blood pressure, everything good?
How do you ask, like, okay, so how do you ask that kind of question? Because some people, is I get it, is that offensive? But I guess it's how you ask the question. Because that's really important. Like how soon, where are you health wise? Do we go to the doctor? Do we get medical reports to make sure we ain't lying?
Nah, I ain't doing all that. But okay, so I can speak for me. So my wife and I, when we met on Plenty of Fish, and so I responded to her first, and it was a Tuesday. I remember it was a Tuesday, and I responded to her first, and then she hit me back right away within like 10 minutes. And so we exchanging messages within 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, this is going good. Now, let me say this. So my profile name was Breath of Fresh Air. And the reason why I had that as my profile name, because I felt like
What was your a breath of fresh air?
a breath of fresh air was my profile name on all my dating sites. And I felt like that because listening to the feedback that women were giving on these sites, unfortunately, I felt like us men need to do a lot better. Like we would step into the women on there disrespectful. We wasn't ready to commit in a relationship. We were looking to send certain pics that we shouldn't have been sending. You keep it PG-13.
Right.
So things like that, and I was like, well, that ain't me. That ain't how I get down. So I feel like I'm different. So it just came to me, breath of fresh air. So that was my profile name. And I saw her reached out to us. So we're going back and forth. And her profile name, Hips for Days, 1969. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. So I remember we decided, we got she gave me her number, we called, we talked on the phone, and we decided we was gonna meet that Saturday. And we met that Saturday and we talked first date. We talked for over 3 hours. So we were that comfortable to where, and that's unheard of on the first date, but we felt
Yeah.
comfortable enough to be able to sit down and just talk freely and ask any question that we wanted to.
Yeah. And
That's what we did.
I think that also says something about where you were, like you were ready. Like in order to be in that space or to connect with someone, like, and to be that, I guess we'll say, vulnerable to just start talking, you were ready. So what was the moment, or do you remember when was the moment, like you did all the work, you did all the personal work, you took the time off, you decided to stay, be with you for a while, where a lot of people don't do that.
Mhm.
But again, that might be a different episode. But a lot of people don't. You don't hear about it. You don't talk about, like, oh, I took the time to really figure out who I am, what I want. But what was the moment, or when was it? Because you said you gave yourself a certain amount of time. But
So
what was it that you felt like, you know what, I'm ready. I'm gonna, I'm gonna make this plan. I'm gonna go on these sites, or I'm gonna put myself out there. Was there a moment, or you said, you know what, I'm just gonna try it? What was that for you?
I just felt peace. I felt like the things that I needed from God, He had gave me. And let me say this: I think it's very, very important that when we are in, especially long-term relationships, we do not bounce from relationship to relationship. We have to take time in between, because we've heard that term rebound. You don't, the reason why I wanted to take a year off was because I didn't want to bleed on anybody else.
Mm,
I knew I was hurting, and I know I needed time for my wounds to heal. And if I go into another relationship and I have not fully healed that wound, soon as somebody says something I don't like, or something clicks that reminds me of my past, that opens up a wound and I start bleeding again all over that person. That's not fair to her, and that's not fair to me.
mm,
And there's such thing called karma. And I didn't want none of that. So I knew I had to heal. So once I got peace from God, I knew I had too much love inside of me to keep to myself. It was time to share that love. So that's when I knew. And I knew, they say now, dating experts, I hear them say that you may have to go on 30, I don't know if you heard this, 30 to 50 dates
oh my God, not
before
yet.
you find the
Right.
right one. I mean, I
Right.
don't know. I didn't take that many for me. Um, but I knew very quickly that she was the one.
What were what elements of the dating profile grabbed you? So we know the name. We know the name pulled you in,
Mhm.
but what elements of the profile would grab your attention? Will grab your attention or raise a red flag?
Um, it grabbed my, okay, so obviously we're gonna want to talk to somebody on a dating site that we are physically attracted to. Okay. So one of the things I think is key, um, and I said, I said when I did this, I said it may be helpful for the listeners and the viewers of this podcast to get a piece of paper and pencil and take notes, because we're about to go into 2024. And if you're looking and if you're wanting to date, you may want to write down some things. But I know for me, I knew it was important. One of the things that stood out is that Kim had several pictures of her on her page, and it showed her whole body. So
Okay.
I knew there was, and this is me, this is nobody else. Sometimes if a person just shows a picture from the chin up, it may, listen to those words, there may be some insecurity there, especially if there's like 8 or 9. Or nowadays you see a lot of filters and all that. Well, she didn't have any of that. So I saw that.
So when you say insecurity, and if you see pictures where it's just maybe just the top, and it may not necessarily, so you're saying it may not necessarily, not trying to put words in your mouth, but what I'm hearing is it may not necessarily be a physical problem or disguising something physically, but that is a sin that could be an insecurity that the person is insecure.
Good. It could be just shyness. So
Okay.
it could be shyness.
Okay.
I know for me, the physical attraction was there. And then now her profile, the words and stuff wasn't the best. He's just saying, it wasn't the best. But as I talked to her on the phone, she's got a very unique personality. Very unique personality, and no holds barred, and what you see is what you get. And I love that. So when we are together, and we were together, we were dating, we had a ball. And we didn't, here's another thing. We didn't go out here, and we started dating 2-3 times a week. But we learned early on, because she was coming from a place where she was about to get a divorce. So here I'm divorced. She's about to get a divorce. So she's coming from that place. So we're both in a place where financially we wasn't there, but yet you still want to date. So I don't know if you've had a podcast where you trying to date on a budget. I don't know if you've had that.
No.
But that would be excellent in the future. Like, we were trying to date, and then we were trying to come up with creative ideas of how we were going to be together, but not spend a lot of money and break the bank. So for us, luckily, it was the summertime. So a lot of our dates were in the park, things like that. We didn't care. The thing is, we didn't care where we were at. The point is, we wanted to be together. That's all that mattered. Wasn't where, it wasn't, you ain't taking me, I don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory. No, we didn't care. We didn't care about that. We just wanted to be together. And
So
that right there, go ahead.
I was going to say, so in the beginning, what would you say about like the first couple of dates, budget wise? Is it like when you're first meeting the person? So should we be doing like, it's really about seeing if there should be a second date, so we don't have to go out to a 5-course meal on the, at the top of the Empire State Building for the first date?
Here again, this is me. And it all depends on a person's financial situation. Where you go on those first 1 to 3 dates, you are setting the tone for the relationship. And if you know about the lady who went viral talking about she didn't want to date no man who was taking her to Cheesecake Factory. Well, let's unpack that. Because as far as I know, the Cheesecake Factory, let's say you go there and you get an appetizer.
And we're talking about a first date.
We're talking about the first date.
Right.
First date. Appetizer, Both of you order an entree. You're not going to go to the Cheesecake Factory and leave there without ordering a cheesecake. How dare you? You're not going to do that. So both of y'all order, you get an appetizer for the both of y'all. Both of y'all order an entree and a cheesecake. Your bill plus tips, easy, 50, 60. If you set the tone for that, and let's say you're the type of person that wants to go out and you're really in this dating, like, I really want to go on dates to find the right one. You might go on 2-3 dates a week till you find the right one. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think
Yeah.
there's anything wrong with that at all. But think from the man's perspective, you have to be prepared to spend that. You're not, unless the woman says, no, I want to pay for my own. You have to be prepared. So are you going to spend $60 3 times a week? That's $180 a week times 4. What's that? $720 a month. That's enough. What's that? That's somebody. That's no. That needs somebody's rent. Rent more than that. But that's a bill. That is a big bill.
Right.
So you set the tone. So you have to decide what am I willing to do? Maybe I can't afford to go on 3 dates a week. Maybe I can only go on 1.
Maybe. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. What advice do you have for finding the right balance between open-minded in this space of online dating at this point in our lives, but finding balance, finding the right balance between being open-minded and having realistic expectations?
Okay. So if we're dating in our 40s and older, I think we have to be realistic to the point where sometimes we're looking for the perfect mate. And there is no perfect mate. There's no perfect mate. Everybody's going to have their flaws. Everybody's going to have things that, maybe they need to work on. So, and then a lot of times, that's number one. Number two, we can put ourselves in this box of a person that we want. For example, I want to date a woman and she's got to make at least $100,000 a year. She's got to have a house and not an apartment. Her credit score has got to be at least 750. And we can go on and on, where you keep doing that. And the more you do it, the more you're shrinking the available women that you may have a chance to get to know, let alone there could be some more deal breakers in those people. And then what about dating outside your race? Well, I'm not dating outside my race. Well, why not? What about dating outside your religion? Would you date somebody who was a Muslim? What about Buddhists? Would you date somebody? Is that a deal breaker? So realistic expectations is, saying, okay, this is what I want. But then I found out what we want and what God sends us and what we actually need, a lot of times it's 2 different things. But there's nothing wrong if you're set on what you want. For example, you say, I want a guy. I like guy. I just like a woman may be like, I just like tall men. I like tall, athletic men. You may think out the box and say, okay, where can I find, and I don't want anybody else. I'm just attracted to those. I don't want to compromise, nothing. Maybe you need to join the gym. Think outside the box of where you can meet those type of men that you're looking for, on top of online. The online dating, I just stand by it, because it's just marketing you. But outside of that, expectations, it's not enough just to go to work, come home, occasionally go to the grocery store, and maybe pick up your kids from school. How are you going to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right if you're not putting yourself out there?
Yeah.
The more you put yourself out there, online dating, then I might volunteer in my church. I might join the singles ministry. I might do this. I might do volunteer at the more you put yourself out there in the masses, the better it is and the more chances and sooner you could find and start finding dates and going out on these dates. The more dates you go out on, the sooner you can find that person you want.
Yeah.
Um,
And
you know,
yeah, it goes back to being intentional. You have to know what you want and be ready for it. And then it's the intention and
mhm,
doing all the things you just suggested. Because my final question was going to be, what would be your top piece of advice for someone navigating the world of online dating, after 40, after 45 plus? So from the things you just mentioned, what would be, maybe that top piece of advice that you would share with us?
dating, when I was dating 12 years ago, is different even now. There's no way, this is me. There's no way if I'm a woman trying to date now, I will go on a date with a guy after dark at all. It's not happening. By my just meeting them, I don't care. No, it's not happening. It's going to be in a public place. It's going to be, it may even be with somebody. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. You just have to put safeguards in place. We just living in dangerous times, and you have to use wisdom. So I would definitely really, really get to know somebody before I spend any time alone with them at all.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you something funny I heard. I did not know this because, like I said, things have changed. I did not know that restaurants, listen to this, restaurants go on dating sites and they pose as regular people and they communicate and chat with regular people and they ask them out on a date and let's say they ask you out on a date. You
Yeah.
go out on a date with them and you go to the Cheesecake Factory and they never show up. The Cheesecake Factory set up a bogus dating profile to get people to come to the restaurant. You go and you meet a guy and you're supposed to be meeting Richard. Richard never shows up. More than likely, when you get there and he never shows up, you're going to be like, well, since I'm here, I might as well go ahead and eat something. Restaurants are doing that. I did not know that.
Ooh, I never heard that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I heard that.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
They do it. They do it. So if don't feel bad, ladies. If you getting stood up, you ain't getting stood up by Richard. Angie's Pizza standing you up.
You know what? Can't right now.
Go ahead and have that slice in Jesus' name.
Oh,
Oh, that's hilarious. But that's
oh.
true. But no, seriously, you do have to be safe out there. You have to be safe. You have to be wise. Making sure that that person, you get to know that person, you find out everything about that person, their history. You want to know if there's a pattern. Um, have they been to jail? They got a criminal past.
Mhm.
What did they go to jail for? You want to know if they're a star. You want to know. So if there's any red flags, I want to find out the first date, the second date. I don't want to find out there's a red flag and I'm alone with you.
Yeah.
So you want to weed out those bad people then.
Yeah. And you try to ask as many, we're out here and we ask as many questions as possible. Like if I'm out on a date, I will, I am texting someone the name. I need your name, your phone number, license plate number,
Right.
and I have a couple friends who have that information, and or I have one friend she's what do you what is, I can't even think of the word, navigate, like they see where I am. What do you call that? I can't think what that's called right now. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
know what you're talking
yeah, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, they're like,
about.
"Oh, you're here, you're there," like tracking, like if
Mhm.
you're in an Uber or something. And let's see, in these comments, like Vilma says, why that's why you video chat. So you video chat first. You do a lot of these, some of these things. If you're serious, if we're being intentional about what we're doing,
Yeah.
I may not, you can, chat for, a couple times, couple conversations. And if you're going to go out and meet, definitely, yeah, you're doing it during the day, doing it in a public place. You go your way, I go my way, and we do that a little bit before you see where I am. So yeah. So this was all good, Jermain.
Thank you.
We might have to have you back and do like some other conversations.
Told you dating on a budget. That's a hard, that's a hard one for people. I would think it would be.
Yeah.
It ain't
Well, I
cheap.
think we're all on a budget right now, especially with
Yeah.
inflation and what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is going on? So thank you.
Can I come with
That was all good stuff. So we're about to get into my next Lord have mercy.
Somebody done joined the show.
Yeah, she has joined the show. So we are going to go ahead and get into my next segment, right? We're going to get into In Between the Bites. In Between the Bites segment is all, I talk about what's happening out here in the world around us. And I thought this was cute. This was kind of interesting. So this cake, a wife buys her husband, it's a prank cake on to show appreciation to her husband because he had met a milestone in his life, and I guess it had taken such a long time that once he completed it, she was like, nobody cares, but she got this really fancy cake for that. And so it says a husband's coding achievement led to a sweet and sassy prank by his wife. Posting on Reddit, user Bob is his name. Bob shared a photo of this 3-layer cake from Shorewood, Oregon, frosted with "Nobody Cares," a playful nod to his employees' sarcastic support during his website building journey. So, despite the cheeky message, the cake was a hit online. So, it went viral. This cake went viral this week. And the Redditors praising the couple's playful dynamic. Bob's wife, known for her sense of humor, orchestrated the surprise, and the online community appreciated the lighthearted teasing between the spouses. One person says, every relationship needs a good roast to flirt ratio. And then another person says, just make sure you get her birthday cake that reads happy whatever. And then another person says, I like your wife's sense of humor though. I like your wife's sense of humor though, someone else has said. And Bob says, it's like it's like the effort she put in to getting the cake flips the message on its head. Your wife is awesome, one person says, and Bob replies, thank you. Jokes aside, she was very proud of me. So that was kind of cool. That was cute. I thought it was cute.
You're not doing that. You're not doing that to every household. There's some households I would suggest you not do that.
But they had. I'm just saying it was funny. It went viral this week. And that's their relationship. Yeah. But no, you may not suggest that. That may not be for everyone.
It ain't for everybody. It was just for them. You're right.
It was for them.
Okay.
It was just for them.
Oof.
That's funny.
Try to get away with that. Send a cake to your wife or your significant other and say nobody cares. You ain't gonna get a chance to say psych. I'm just playing. You ain't gonna get a chance.
But if that's their banter, right? If that's their banter,
good luck with that.
So good. It worked for them. It worked. So next up is you're so serious. Have these moments you get so serious. I'm like,
I'm not serious. I wouldn't suggest that.
I'm just saying it was all in fun.
Okay.
They liked it. They liked it. He's still living. He's
How do
still
we
in
know
my
that?
house.
How do we know that?
Yeah. Well, there he's still in the house.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, thanks. So now we're going to get into some sensual food facts. Sensual food facts. So what's up tonight for my sensual food fact? Bananas. This was a new one. This is a new one. This was interesting. So, bananas are rich in potassium, which aids in muscle function, including the contraction and relaxation of muscles involved in sexual activity. They also contain um, enzymes that may enhance the libido. Bananas. Who knew? And that is food worth forking,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know about bananas. Does anybody else know about bananas? No? Okay. Well, we're going to go with it. We're going to go with bananas.
Yep.
So, we have come to the end of the show.
Oh no. Now let me see this. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Did you?
Do you want to disclose to the people what is my normal bedtime?
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
4:30.
Now it's about 7-ish.
Yeah, I know.
So this really shows my love for you.
Yeah.
For me to be this past my bedtime.
I
I'm
know.
just saying.
It's 9:06. Can you believe it?
No, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Well, this was good. You have definitely shed some light on what it is like and what we should be looking for um in online.
For New Year, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Someone said Jermaine just switched to grandpa status, 7 p.m. He has been
I ain't mad at it.
at grandpa status.
I ain't mad at it. You know why? Because when I live to be 100, y'all gonna want to know my secrets, and that's gonna be one of my secrets. I got plenty of sleep. I'm just saying.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Because Josiah says your bedtime is at 2 p.m.
Hilarious.
But we'll let that.
Hilarious.
So, how are you on social media at all?
I'm on Facebook. That's about it. I'm on Facebook though.
You're people say you're saying that you are the comedian of Facebook. That is starting to be your thing. So you're on.
I hear that too. The streets is talking.
Yeah.
The streets are talking.
Yeah. I just let it go, people. I just let it be. Let it ride. But thank you for your insight, the tips. It was all very helpful. I hope that I think we all did. I think we all got something out of tonight.
Hope so.
If you want to get in on the jokes of Jermain Goins on Facebook, please follow him on Facebook at Jermain Goins. And if you have not, again, just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, come on over, subscribe to the podcast, Food Worth Forking, like it, because that helps. But yes, like this episode, like the podcast, hit that bell so you'll get notifications of all upcoming and new shows and what's going on. I'm really excited about it and what's happening and the opportunities that have come as of late. So I hope to see you next week, everybody. We're going to have a good time next Wednesday at 8:00. And thank you so much. Thank you for watching and listening. So that's it. Any parting words? You good?
Everybody have a wonderful evening.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody have a wonderful evening and Hold on, hold on, hold on. And let's see here. Until we eat again.
I like that.
Make
I
it
like that.
food worth forking. See you. See you next week. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come follow as I take you on a tour. Let me put you on to some new work. Grilling this heat. I got the word on the street. Take heed. Introduce you to some brand new things. Food for the soul. Till you gotta blow. Food worth porking. Take it on the go. In tune serving it up on the road. Tell you all about it on the special. This heat something you don't wanna miss. Get you every